Only 3 races to go in Season 2. Hello and welcome back to F1 2021 and part 38 of the Immersive Driver Career Mode with Ferrari. Today we've got the Brazilian Grand Prix and I just love this track on this game. Last year I think we started from the back. If I remember correctly, because we took a new engine, because our engine blew up in Mexico. Similar story this season, really, with the amount of failures that we've had. But today, we have a full crack at qualifying, which is great. It does look like it's going to rain, particularly in the race. There'll probably be some rain in qualifying as well. So it just adds to the fun of it, really. I honestly can't wait for this. Last year we fought our way through the field up to 9th. If we have a little look at the season results from last year. And that was our final point score and finish for Alpine. Now, I still haven't really decided on whether I'm going to stay at Ferrari or move next season. I guess we'll see what the regulation changes are, because there are some coming according to Ollie. So we'll have a little look at that. They say it's going to affect multiple departments again, but we'll just have to see how it goes. We're very much the equal 4th quickest team with Aston Martin and McLaren at the moment at this team. Alpine have moved ahead now. Red Bull have made a big leap actually towards Mercedes. Look at that. Wow, I mean, Mercedes have been well ahead this whole career, and all of a sudden, with one massive upgrade, Red Bull are now pretty much on Mercedes' pace. So that potentially opens up a thought, could we go to Red Bull, could we go to Mercedes? We have been saying, well, look at Perez. You know, Perez is almost 100, well, he's over 100 points behind Max Verstappen. That's not going to make Red Bull very happy. Bottas is 75 points behind Lewis Hamilton. And bear in mind, Lewis Hamilton hasn't scored in 3 of the last 4 races. You know, that's absolutely crazy that Bottas is so far behind. So maybe they'll be looking for somebody to replace their second drivers, because look at Red Bull. Had they had somebody on Max's level, they would have been winning the Constructors' Championship right now. So that's a possibility. But without further ado, let's see how we get on in qualifying. Here we come then for our first timed lap of qualifying, and we come over the line. It's a 1:05.9, which is quicker than Tsunoda. We're not quite as quick as
we've only got 2 laps of fuel left.
The likes of Norris and Vettel, Stroll. So we could do with a little bit extra on this second lap. Already a 10th down, so let's stay with the action. Let's see if we can improve this lap. But, you know, it'll probably be enough for 14th place, as always in Q1. Before we pick it up in Q2. But there's the rain, so I think it will be easily enough to get through, so I don't think there's any point whatsoever finishing that lap. There we go. Let's not do that tomorrow, otherwise it'll be a penalty. Well, unbelievably, because the rain came down, have a little look at that top 10. You've got Nikita Mazepin in there, and Latifi and Russell are up there as well. Giovinazzi and Ocon are both through. Let's see who's out, because there's definitely at least a Red Bull or a Mercedes out. Charles could be out as well. So Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez make it through on the intermediate tyres. But going out is Bottas, Ricciardo, Leclerc, Gasly, and Mick Schumacher. Poor Mick Schumacher there. But Daniel Ricciardo just not quick enough on those soft tyres. And wow, what a Q1 lineup that is. We got out there nice and early, set the 6th fastest time. We were easily through in the end. But wow, they will be super disappointed with that. But that makes it easier for us to get through to Q3, you would feel. And, well, we're in a great position to go forward from here. A nice little overtake on Nikita Mazepin onto our lap. We're the only ones out there on the intermediates, I believe. So we are going much quicker than those guys around us. And we go quickest so far with a 1:17.3. Well, I don't think that'll be the quickest time this session. But that's certainly quicker than Giovinazzi and Mazepin. And there you go, Stroll goes second. So seems like a good plan to go on these intermediate tyres. I just had a look at the tyre select screen, and Jeff thought that these would be 0.4 quicker than the wet tyres. So
we have 2 laps of fuel remaining,
and they certainly feel absolutely fine on the car. Yeah, a little bit. Well, there we go then. We're through in 8th place to Q3. No big shocks this session, really. Alfa Romeo's both out. Both Williams and Nikita Mazepin all out, which is a shame, I suppose. But yes, our intermediate tyre time got us through. Nobody else really improved after that first run. So, yeah, quite happy with that. First lap in Q3, what's it going to be? It's a 1:15.2, which is 3rd fastest so far, and you've got to say we've got to do a lot better than that if we want to be anywhere near pole position today. But the problem is the conditions may well just get worse. Hamilton goes quickest with a 1:13.8. So just got to put a little bit more jeopardy into our lap. I think it was a bit too safe. We have just filled the car with fuel, and I will just be pumping in the laps until the end. I might come in just before the end and stick a fresh set of intermediate tyres on. We'll just have to see how we're doing for time. So 2nd time lap, we have made up a couple of tenths here, and that puts us above Yuki Tsunoda, but doesn't necessarily mean we're going to stay there. But this is an excellent start to the next lap. This is the thing, you load the car with fuel and you give yourself some confidence. Here we go, 3rd time lap then. Come up to the line, that's going to be another 0.3 gained. And that puts us up to 7th position. Well, what a lap this is, but we are going to be the first over the line. 4.5 tenths quicker, we come up to the line. And, well, eventually it looks like we've qualified P10, and that is a huge shame because we found some good pace there at the end. But there you go. And people have went out on the soft tyres apparently.
Raikkonen and Lance Stroll. With qualifying wrapped up, we now have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
I mean, I'm not even sure I've seen people on soft tyres there. But there you go. We misjudged that one apparently. But there you go. Sergio Perez on pole position. Kimi Raikkonen there in 2nd. Stroll 3rd. Tsunoda 4th. Vettel 5th. Norris 6th. Max Verstappen in 7th with Fernando Alonso in 8th. Lewis Hamilton qualifies 9th on the intermediate tyres, and we qualify in 10th there. But yeah, a little bit gutted about that one. Wasn't expecting the soft tyres to be the tyre to be on right at the end there. But well, we'll see how we get on in the race.
Formula One returns to Sao Paulo once again with the stage set for what promises to be another classic Brazilian Grand Prix. Sebastian Vettel famously clinched his third championship here in 2012, and in 2016, Max Verstappen treated us to one of the finest wet weather drives of all time. Interlagos, always a very special race here in Brazil. It's a 2.7-mile circuit with 9 lefts and 6 rights for a total of 15 corners. But it's a wet one today, so grip and visibility will be at a premium, and the drivers will need to be careful coming up the hill in Sector 3, the scene of many an accident over the years. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of Turn 1, so how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are 3 main things to worry about there, Crofty: positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Sergio Perez will lead us away from pole position, edging out Raikkonen, who'll start P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Stroll, Vettel, Lando Norris and Verstappen, Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, the captain and Nicholas Latifi, Bottas, Gasly, Yuki Tsunoda. They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty, and Mick Schumacher. Giovinazzi, they've taken a grid penalty. Ocon, George Russell and Charles Leclerc. Ricciardo, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. And Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
There we go then. We are down on the track, and apparently we're starting on the soft tyres. That doesn't seem wise, but I can't do anything about it. So yeah, I guess we revert it back to what it was. We go with the engineers. I can't see how we'll be on this tyre for very long, but I mean, I wish you could come in to the pits and change your tyres, but it doesn't seem to be the case. I don't know why we've got so much fuel in the car. That looks fine. Yeah, okay. I guess that's what we'll go for then. But I really don't want to be on these soft tyres at the start of this race. Look at this. I mean, there's literally standing water. But there's no way for me to
pull away. You'll have a bit more grip
to change onto the intermediates.
But we need to warm the tyres properly now. Make sure you get some heat into the brakes as well.
I mean, it's a little bit drier once you get off that first hill, but this is going to be incredibly interesting. Oof, wow. Yeah, don't want to be warming the tyres too much.
Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay.
I mean,
no issues with tyre wear for now.
Let's see what he
Keep
says.
taking care of them.
He doesn't say anything about...
We'll be seeing at least 20 minutes of light rain. Dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Okay, so dries are apparently the best tyre. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's virtually dry in this sector, but certainly in the first sector it was very wet. And it is just going to be very nerve-wracking, I think. At the start of this race, but we will try our absolute best. See what we can do. So Kimi Raikkonen starting second in his third final ever Grand Prix, and it would be lovely to see him get on the podium. Whether he will or not, though, remains to be seen. But yeah, this is going to be nerve-wracking up to turn 1.
Be patient and watch for the lights.
And here we go. Lights out, away we go here in Brazil. It's not a bad start off the grid. I'm just happy to stay in a straight line. Look at Gasly though, round the inside. We take a void in action in the first corner. Oh, a little bit of contact there, but I think we've got away with it. Yeah, we certainly have done. Okay, we're down to 12th here, but I'm really not bothered. I'm just looking to survive this first couple of laps until we need to change tyres, and then that's when we'll really start taking some risks. Well, this is a chance down the inside now of Mick Schumacher, and we are through. Back up into 11th position. And a little look at Gasly. And we are through. Well, look at this for a chance on Nicholas Latifi. When we looked for the switcheroo, didn't really happen there. But that was big closing speed, wasn't it? And the big tell will be whether the stewards enable DRS. Well, here we go on Nicholas Latifi again. Massive closing speed.
DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
DRS is enabled. But we make it through on Latifi nice and easy there. So now we've got to close up to Fernando Alonso. Well, Mick Schumacher out of the session. There's yellow flags, but no more at this stage. And by the way, it's Kimi Raikkonen currently leading this race, which I just find absolutely fantastic. That Kimi Raikkonen may well win a race in this career mode before he retires. That would be awesome, but we're slowly catching Fernando Alonso, getting used to these conditions. Looking pretty good. We got Valterri Bottas behind, but he's not really challenged us just yet. Although having said that, he's closing in now. Is he going to have a look?
In front is 2.0 seconds.
No, too risky in these conditions, I think, to throw it down the inside. So 1.9 seconds behind Fernando Alonso. And the middle sector is where we seem to be gaining most of our time, because look at that. Massive closing in speed, but it seems the guys in front just aren't overtaking each other for whatever reason. But if we can get in on the action, we're certainly not going to be cautious. We'll be throwing caution to the wind. Ooh, little slide there through that corner. That could have been very, very dangerous, but again, another decent lap.
You're losing a small amount of time to the car behind. Keep pushing.
Well, here we come into the pits then for our pit stop, and putting on another set of soft tyres.
Go now.
Where are we going to come out ahead of Bottas? That's the big question here.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
I think a new set of soft tyres will give us a new lease of life. And we are through 4 seconds ahead of Valtteri Bottas, to be fair. But look how far behind Fernando we are. We've lost 3 seconds because we pitted 2 laps later. And that was through Jeff's alternate strategy suggestion. So we've got to blame Jeff there. But we know that we are quicker than this group ahead, so we should be able to close in reasonably quickly, especially with the levels of grip we're going to have. So got to take advantage of the fact we've got 2 laps where our tyres are brand new compared to theirs. Well, you join me coming on to lap 21 of this Grand Prix, and some people are coming into the pits already. So this is where us coming into the pits 2 laps later sort of comes into play. Our tyres should still be in reasonable condition. In fact, Jeff's just come on the blower to say, why don't you come in a lap later than planned on this stint as well? And that would give us 10 laps on the medium tyres. But I don't know what's going to be quicker, these old softs or brand spanking new mediums. And crazily enough, I don't think we're going to have any spells this race where we are on the wet tyre, which is unbelievable, really. Well, somebody is out. I'm not sure who it is, but we have.
Okay, watch your pace. We've been informed that the safety car is out. There appears to have been an issue with multiple stopped vehicles on the track. A new strategy is available on the MFD.
Well, we are out into the pit lane, and somebody was out. I think it might have been Sergio.
Go, go, go.
Sergio Perez had.
Strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now.
Woohoo! Sergio Perez had
Charles is in the pits.
had an engine failure, I think, and Lance Stroll went into the back of him.
The safety car is waiting for the leader. You may overtake it. Overtake the safety car. Drop your speed. Our delta is too low and we risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
And now,
Okay, copy that.
we've come into the pits. We've got the medium tyres on. And this is going to be a problem for the leaders, I think. Are they going to manage to come out in front of us? That's the big question. We just sort of dove into the pits at our first opportunity. Was that the right thing to do? Maybe not, because you can see those guys at the front are coming out now.
This rain could be with us for a while. Light rain conditions for the foreseeable future.
So maybe we should have went on one more lap. But, you know, you never know in these situations, and now that we're going to catch up to Fernando and co through the safety car, it gives us a possible chance to overtake them. There's really not been too much action in this Grand Prix so far, so hopefully we'll have an exciting last few laps. Safety car is in then. And we are back underway here at the Brazilian Grand Prix. Straight away, we're going to have a little look at Fernando Alonso down the inside. And we make the move stick.
Brilliant. Nice move.
I was a little bit worried we'd have a bit of side pod damage. But here comes Fernando Alonso again. He's going to have a look down the inside. Oh, this is close. But we're through. So now, Lewis Hamilton is the car ahead, the championship leader. But with Max Verstappen leading this race, his lead is going to take a sharp decline. Which is just unbelievable, really. Considering, as I've said so many times this season, Hamilton was about 100 points ahead at one point in this championship. This is pretty good. We're already a second ahead of Fernando Alonso. And somebody's come into the pits. Oh, it's Max Verstappen! Oh, well, has he thrown away the chance to become world champion? Because he must have needed to come into the pits again. Let's have a little look at the race director. Max Verstappen. He's just come in, obviously. Yeah. He still needed to come in for another pit stop. And wow, Sebastian Vettel will need to as well, because he's in third at the moment, but he has not used the medium compound. So that is very, very interesting. Here we come then, onto the final lap of the race. Nothing else has really happened. You can see how far ahead we are of Fernando Alonso. Once you're out of this sort of slipstream team up ahead, you just have no chance, really. But, you know, can't say I'm too bothered. I think we're going to finish 5th in this Grand Prix. We were within a second and a half of Hamilton going into the final lap, but we've just messed up the first sector. But you can see how much we will gain in this second sector. And it looks like Kimi Räikkönen is going to win this Grand Prix. He is holding everybody up though. But Kimi Räikkönen is going to get a fairy tale end to his career. 3 races from the end of his illustrious, long, old career. Kimi Räikkönen comes round to win the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's going to be Lando Norris in 2nd, Perez 3rd, Hamilton 4th, and we finish an excellent 5th in the end.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
A great race then, very much as we've come to expect, and a fantastic win here at Interlagos. Talk to me, Ant. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
It was a question of right place, right time today. We were looking at an entirely different race before the safety car came out, but they were able to take full advantage after the field had been bunched up.
Here come today's winning drivers, and what a race it was. This is a team that knows success very well in F1, and they're just itching for even more. Congratulations to the Alpine team for their excellent win. Let's see how the driver standings have changed. It's a great result for Lewis Hamilton, who moves further ahead at the top of the table. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
Charles Leclerc showed exactly how to manage yourself out on the track today. He was almost flawless out there. Incredible stuff.
It's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. Meanwhile, good work from Aston Martin this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
Well, Alpine are very much catching us up in the Constructors. Only 10 points behind now with 2 races to go. I mean, if you look at the drivers, Kimi Räikkönen up to 11th now, up from 13th. He's had a poor season by his standards, but that will be a sweet victory for him as he ends his career this season. We move back up to 7th in the championship, 8 points ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. Charles Leclerc had a good race from 18th to get up to 8th. But yeah, very, very happy with that. From 9th on the grid to finish 5th. We'll certainly take it, and hopefully that means that we can have a positive end to the season now. And it keeps up our record of every race we finished in the points.
You were cutting your way through the field during the race. We all underestimated you, didn't we? The weather was miserable today, but do you feel this was an advantage for you? Appreciate your time.
Well, Claire and me starting to get on now. Keep an eye on it. Well, there you go. We move up in the Acclaim world. I realise I haven't really shown you much of this throughout the season, so just thought I'd show you a little bit of the behind the scenes at the team. And we have got a couple of more updates in the pipeline. We still haven't found out what the regulation change is going to be, and with only 2 races to go, it doesn't give us a lot of time to protect anything, so we will see.
Our new parts have completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
Back down to 6th now in the performance table. I mean, that's a bit rubbish, but let's advance to the weekend, because that's usually where you get your messages of the regulation changes. So let's have a little look then.
Okay, I need your attention.
Oh no.
The tech regulations are changing. There's a risk some of our hard work will be undone, so we need to mitigate it. As soon as you can, I want you to look at the developments we have and tell us what areas you want to invest in protecting.
Right, let's work out what's changing. Wow, look at that. So we've had plenty of reliability updates, but that's not necessarily what we need at the moment. And there you go, it's the powertrain and durability that is getting affected. There's only 4 weeks remaining, of course. There's going to be 23 parts that need protecting. That's a supplier upgrade, apparently. But I bet you all of those are they potentially at risk? Well, no, none of them are at risk. Hopefully the team go and protect these, but there's so much to protect. The durability is going to go down, which doesn't bode well for this Ferrari team. We have been given some new engine parts as well. But yeah, all of this is unprotected. So we are in big trouble, really, I think, as we head towards next season. And maybe that's where we look at going somewhere else. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But anyway, that is where we're going to leave it for today. If you have enjoyed it, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for more F1 content. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.